There were bells on a hill.
Alright, another day. Here I'm going to do the inside of the house real quick. And this is actually great for insurance purposes in case we have a fire or something happens to the house. I have a copy of the video and I can tell the insurance company what we had, and when they say, oh, we don't believe you, I say, yes, here, look, here is the footage. So we've got, I guess you call it a coffin ceiling. Actually, let's see if I can put the lights on there. There you go. Alright, so it's hardwood floors throughout. It's made out of madrone, and the pieces along the outside, the darker pieces, are maple and ash. And we did a pattern, diagonals and straight boards, and we used that as a border. We have a computer set up there. We did a little arch ceiling just to make it a little more dramatic. There's a winery in the corner. Has its own air conditioning unit. Hello, Zobird. You can see all the bottles of wine and our beer making. Some of it, the equipment anyway. It's all cedar. It was leftover material from the roof or the ceiling outside, and then I bought some lumber and just ripped it down on the table saw and cut all the pieces and glued and stapled it all together, and bingo, which is what you get. Piece of the old that came with the kitchen cabinets. There's a 6-burner stove with an oven underneath, and then to the right of that there's a steam oven, and it also is a convection oven as well, and then a microwave above that, and then a refrigerator with a freezer down below. Around the other side there's a garbage compactor, and then a dishwasher and a farm sink. We wanted the farm sink because if you're making beer, you're making wine, or you're doing stuff inside, you need room to do all that. We've got another big sink outside for it. There's a little TV that's hooked up in the corner there that comes down. It's just a small little screen. You can play DVDs on that, and you know, all that good stuff. There's a gizmo for filling water pots on the stove. We tiled the back just to make it look a little more interesting. I took some corbels and sliced them in half up here just to make it look like it was taking the weight of this whole thing here. And I bought this commercial range hood that goes in, and then I fabricated this sheetrock to go in there to make it look more interesting than just something you buy in the store, you know. This is kind of unique. One of the fun things of doing things for yourself. Could you turn the lights on above the fireplace, please? Okay. So here's the fireplace, and this was the thing that I had a hard time dealing with the EPA about how we could efficiently burn off any carbon monoxides and different fumes that come out of the fireplace. And as you see where the fire is in there, there's a little oven, pizza oven above it, and the chimney is not directly above that. See, that is to the left. The reason being, there's a chamber which you burn inside those double doors, and then it flues down into a smaller opening and then opens up into a bigger opening around the pizza oven, and then it goes up and then it diverts down the back and down the sides all the way to the floor where that can is, and then it goes around this seat. You can see that little black thing directly in front of me on the floor. That's another clean out, and then the chimney goes around through that bottom of that seat, and then it goes up the wall in between the arch and the fire burning door, and it goes up and it goes out. And the idea is that the whole thing radiates heat into all this rock. It's 4 inches thick, and it holds heat from every fire. So each time you have a fire, it gets a little warmer. Because the large chamber goes down into a small chamber and the air intake, it burns super hot. which burns off any gases like a Cadillac converter. We put an archway in there just to make it look interesting. The rock was all local rock I found, and I came across this green stuff. They had one pallet of it in a builder's yard, and I thought, well, that's going to be great. That will fit. I can put a band around the whole thing. So that's what we did. There was just enough to do that, and a band along the top, and then it's capped with a piece of slate to match the slate, black slate that's on the seat itself. The concrete on the floor is finished with acid wash. I covered it while we were building, kept it clean with 3 layers of paper so it wouldn't get any stains on it. And then I brushed it all off, vacuumed it, wiped it down, and then threw acid on it, a green acid. Before it dried, I took black acid and spluttered black acid randomly, and then we let it dry. Then I washed it off, and then I put wax on it. And there's about 7 coats of wax on it to keep it shiny. In here, we was going to put a wood burning stove, but now we're going to put some shelves in there. We're going to build some shelves to go in there with a glass door so we can put all the cooking books in there. There's a pantry in here. There's a walk-in pantry. It's about 8 foot deep, 10 foot high, floor to ceiling with shelves. And believe me, there is not enough room. A bread maker in here, which, you know, of course, all the dog food's down there, and garlic and onions, all that good stuff go in that rack. One of the bathroom, we've got one of those same style doors, the glass. I did split height units in here. Once again, I bought the cabinets. They're a standard cabinet, and then I bought extra drawers and just attached the drawer cabinets on top of my cabinets. So that, and then put that divider piece with the, what they call the garage door cabinet, so that you can put all the electric toothbrush and hair dryers and all that stuff. And I put power in there, so you don't have to unplug it. You just leave it in there, pull it out when you need it. Pretty much that's Karen's domain. But obviously I'm much taller than Karen, so I don't want to bend down a long way, and she wants to be able to reach the sink. So the compromise was I'd do this split thing. And it came out pretty good. I found mirrors in a bargain store. Fortunately, they kind of matched the colours of our bathroom. Got a window over the jacuzzi tub. And see that? There's no spout for filling. That's because I got creative and filled from the ceiling. Voila. It's great. The only problem is washing the bathtub. It can be a pain, but you know, it's doable. So we have a walk-in shower, a showerless door shower, and so it's got a little platform that's 2-3 feet deep, and then it opens up into 5 feet by 5 feet, or 5 feet by 6 feet, something like that. I put a seat in there because I like to sit down, getting lazy in my old age. Once again, for the soaps, instead of putting those little tray platforms that stick out that you hit your head and hit your elbows on, I just had a 2x6 wall and just sunk it a little deep so that I could cut that in. You can turn on the water before getting in the shower, so you can turn it on, wait for it to get warm before you step in. It's a dual head, so 2 people can be in there, you can get hit from both sides. AC, DC shower. And once again, it's got ceiling speakers in here and track lighting.